Hi, Jose. It's good to see you again. Last time you came in, you told me about a situation that has been going on in your apartment with some of your housemates. And if I remember correctly, it was revolving someone not picking up after themselves and not washing dishes. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, hi Abby. It's nice to see you as well. Um, there hasn't been much progress in regards to my housemate. They're still not cleaning up after themselves or doing any of the dishes, and it's kind of really been frustrating, not only myself, but as well as my other housemate. So yeah, it's been pretty frustrating.
Yeah, that sounds really frustrating. It could be really difficult when you're maintaining a clean space and someone else who's living with you isn't. I'm wondering, have you had a conversation with them about this?
Um, No, not really. I'm like really nervous too, and at the same time, I think I'm just like very, very like scared of confrontation. So yeah, no.
Yeah, that's understandable. It could be really nerve-wracking to bring something up like this, especially if you're worried about how the person might react, right? But being assertive, doesn't always mean that you're being rude or confrontational. It's just really about expressing your needs and your feelings in a way that's respectful and clear. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah, I kind of I could see that point. So yeah, it does make sense. I guess like now the issue is just kind of getting there, I guess, to be a little bit more like uh, I guess assertive or confrontational about like what I need or want, I guess.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's something that we can definitely work on together. Um, so with your permission, I'd like to give you a little bit of psychoeducation around assertiveness and using I statements versus you statements. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so when we're being assertive, it often involves using I statements where you focus on how the situation affects you rather than placing the blame. So, for instance, instead of saying, you
Mm.
never wash the dishes, you could say something like, I feel stressed when the dishes pile up because I really want our shared space to stay clean. Do you see how the I statement and the you statement are separate and very different and how it kind of shifts the focus and takes the blame away?
Yeah. I guess it kind of makes it like less aggressive or pointed at someone specifically.
Yeah, exactly. So let's make this practical. Are you open to doing maybe a little bit of like role play of the conversation? I could play the housemaid and you can practice what you might say. That way you can get a little bit more comfortable before you have the actual conversation with your housemate. How does that sound?
Still sounds very nerve-wracking, but yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, no worries. We'll do this together. So take a moment to think about what you'd like to say, and whenever you're ready, feel free to start the conversation, and I'll respond as your housemate.
Okay. Um, okay. All right. I'll be like, hey, I kind of wanted to talk to you about something that's kind of been like on my mind recently, or lately, I should say. I've kind of noticed that the dishes sometimes aren't getting washed, they're just kind of being left out. And it's kind of been like stressing me out a little bit, only because like I really want to keep common spaces clean for all of us. And at the same time, I just kind of want to avoid any clutter specifically.
Oh, I didn't realize that it was such a big deal. I've just been really busy lately.
Yeah, no. I totally understand, life gets really busy, a lot of things happen. I personally feel the same way. I'm a law student at Berkeley, so I completely understand. But like when the dishes just sit there, makes it really hard for us to kind of use the space, especially when like some of us are trying to get in and out. And it could just be very overwhelming, specifically for me, like to keep things like tidy on my own when like again, like I have other things going on as well.
I guess I see your point. What do you want me to do about it?
Um, yeah, maybe like we could work together, like just not you and me, but also our other housemate, to kind of like make up a plan or like some type of schedule. So um like it just seems more like fair for everyone to like kind of have specific responsibilities. So that way like we all know what to kind of expect and how we could kind of try to help each other out here and there.
Okay, that was great. You expressed your feelings clearly and you stayed very respectful and calm. How did that feel for you?
Um like it was like both nerve-wracking and overwhelming, but at the same time like awkward. But I did like it because I felt like when my definition of confrontation is just like how you said earlier, it's like you, but me kind of putting the I statement in there, it kind of felt like I really wanted to kind of make something work for all of us, and then that's not necessarily putting like the blame on one person. So I kind of felt good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was great work with you, Jose. I can see that you're really putting effort into practicing assertiveness, and that's such an important step that, we'll have to take to um, talk to the housemate. And before we wrap up, I'm just curious about how you're feeling about having this conversation with your housemate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still feeling very nervous about it, but for sure a little bit more confident and like prepared, I guess, to kind of have this conversation with my housemate for sure. So thank you.
Yeah, and it's completely normal to feel nervous, when you're going to do something like this. And I'm glad that you're feeling a little bit more prepared. Just remember that it doesn't have to go perfect. It's just about making an effort and being honest about your needs. Um, if you find it helpful, you can take some notes or even rehearse a little bit more on your own.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Thank you again, Abby. I mean,
Of
Abby,
course.
sorry.